Commonwealth and Colony.
May 1948. The British Railways exchange trials had been going on for a month already. Engines from different regions were swapped to others temporarily to gather data that could be used in designing what would become the BR standard range. In the Midland region, Edge Hill Shed was not exempt from this, as one engine would have to unfortunately find out.
Hey, the weather treating you bad, Trini?
Oh no, it's great. It feels like 1,000 bees stinging me all over my face, but it's nothing.
Was that you being sarcastic again? I could never tell.
Up to your interpretations. It could work both ways.
Hey John, did you hear about this new engine that was supposed to come over?
I think so, yeah. It's part of the exchange trials. Don't know what engine it is, though.
I see. Well, we're passing by the depot soon, so if it's there, we might be able to catch a glimpse.
That curious, are you? Trini, keep your eyes peeled when we pass by the depot, will ya? There's apparently a new engine that's gonna be there.
Alright then, I'll try. I could barely keep my eyes open, but still. I mean, it could literally be any engine. I probably wouldn't even be able to tell.
Visibility was poor, but as they did, Trinidad caught a glimpse of a...
What the fuck is that? An A4?
Oh well, we know what it is now.
Nice! I've never seen an A4 before.
I wish I never would have. I'd better have been seeing wrong.
Meanwhile...
What the fuck is that?
Hey driver, hear that? I've already got some plans down here.
Good night, Margaret. Good night, Princess Margaret Rose.
Good night, whatever.
Yes, always nice to hear from you too, Princess. So, I'd normally never utter a single word to you for obvious reasons, but I do have to ask you something.
Yes, what is it?
On one of my trains today, I passed by the depot and saw... Well, it's actually foolish to think about, but I thought I saw an A4. You know anything about that?
I do, and yes, it's A4.
Oh my god. Are you sure?
You think I'm some stupid idiot or something, Trinidad?
Well, if the shoe fits, wear it.
Ugh, the audacity.
Anyway, why the hell is an A4 here?
Exchange trials, I reckon. You don't live under a rock, do you? You know what it is.
I know what it is, but I can't imagine why here to begin with, and why an A4 specifically.
I don't bloody know. Take that up with British Railways or something.
Ugh, I'd rather take it up with BR than you.
An awkward silence followed. Everyone knew who had backed into the shed with them.
This is LMS territory. What are you doing here?
Exchange trials. Why else?
I know. I was just told. I just wanted to hear it from you. It could have been any engine from any other region. A merchant navy, a king, an A3. But no, it had to be an A4. But I'm not surprised. After all, Gresley's finest must be paraded around for every man, woman, and engine to see. The only thing I'm surprised about is how you haven't gone to every corner of the globe yet.
Look, aside from our reputation of us A4s being uptight, snobby, and generally disliked engines, is the problem you have directed at me personally, or just the rest of my class?
That class of yours, I don't know. I haven't known you for 5 minutes, so for all I know, you could be exactly like the rest. Bullies, arrogant, ignorant, narcissists, everything I despise in an engine. I'm sure you know much more than I do because you're probably guilty of it. You lot even treat some of your own LNER brethren poorly. The Thompson Pacifics, for example. I felt sorry for them when I heard the kind of abuse you plus other Gresley engines subjected to them. I'm the kind of engine that doesn't stand for that one bit. Not even for engines of my own region. Listen to me. You ain't on the Eastern region anymore. You're on my turf. And if you do anything of the sort to me or my fellow engines here, they'll be hell to pay.
2 of those Thompson Pacifics are dear friends of mine, thank you very much. But allow me to provide a counter. We Express engines have always been guilty of putting down those that are different. We have always seen others as lower than ourselves because we get to hold the fancy, smanty coaches. So you can't put that on us A4s specifically. Because I know damn well that you would have done that at least 5 times in your service life by now. Sure, some of us change, like I have, and don't do that sort of thing anymore. But like you said, I've barely known you for even a day. For all I know, you could just be one massive hypocrite. And here is a correction. This is not your turf. This is no longer LMS lines, then my home rails are LNER lines. We are British Rail now. BR. So this is our turf. But if I catch you, any of you, putting down your fellow engines because you are somehow above them, then may the Lord have mercy, because I will not have it.
I'll take your word for it.
The early morning sun peeked over the horizon, the awkward altercation the night before still fresh in the minds of the engines still waking up.
Good morning, my little jitty boy. How did you sleep?
Morning, driver. Well, I slept alright. Comfortable, as usual. But there was a little slight scuffle before you went to sleep.
Ah, did it have something to do with that new engine in town?
Yup, it had everything to do with him. And Trinidad too. You know how he is, protective of us.
That I very much do know. Let's get you ready for some shunting.
A few minutes later, he puffed out of the shed, into the yard. In the sunrise, Commonwealth was getting fired up. He watched as Jinchi scampered about from siding to siding, doing his job like normal. Before he knew it, some time had already passed and was already at his working pressure. He glanced over to Trinidad a few berths away, still sound asleep but getting fired up as well.
Hey, driver. Got any word on the schedule today, or is that, still up in the air?
Nah, still haven't gotten anything from the Yardmaster yet.
Oh, bloody hell. Now, what in the hell was that? Hey, driver. I think something happened with that guy over there. You wanna run ahead and check?
Yeah. I'll be back in a moment. Yep, something happened.
Okay, that's helpful and all, but what exactly?
Get over here and see then. Jeffrey, help me with these blasted points.
Right.
Hey, you doing alright? Well, as alright you can be, that is.
It's nothing too bad. I just blew one of my cylinder caps. Too much condensation build up, I guess.
Nothing too bad, you say. Yet you sit here now handicapped. Oh, well, what's your name?
It's Kramer.
You can probably see my nameplate, but you can call me Commonwealth. Say, why don't I help you back to the shed so then the workmen can have a proper look at you?
What? Really?
Well, of course.
Oh, well, yeah, please?
Commonwealth coupled onto the front of Kramer and gently pushed him back into the leftmost berth in the shed to await repairs.
There you go, Kramer. I hope the lads can get you running again soon.
I mean, I hope so. I'm not sure who's going to continue shunting me out, though.
We do have another Jinty over there, but she's only now being stoked up and ain't going to be ready for another couple of hours.
Say, sir, have you guys figured out what I can actually do around here yet?
Yes, you have a cold train to take up to Barra and Finesse, then a good train from there heading back here. You should be leaving around 1300 and be back by evening.
Sounds like a solid plan. Should I take over the shunting in the meantime?
Huh?
Yeah, just take over the shunting until the other one is ready?
I personally don't see a problem with that. You would have to take extra care on the points, but are you sure?
Exactly. Express engines don't shunt. That's for us to do. I mean, another thing, they just don't ever want to.
Yeah, that is always the saying, but you'd find me as an exception. And regardless, I've shunted another 14 times before, so I'm not exactly an apprentice when it comes to this.
Sounds absolutely fine. As I said, take care of the points. Most of them on that shop, but still. Oh yes, and Kramer's driver would go along with you to guide you as to what goes where.
I always am, sir, but don't you worry about me. I'll give a whistle if I find myself in trouble.
Kramer, did a Grazie A4 just willingly agree to shunting? Yup, I'm just as gobsmacked as you are, sir.
Morning, Sleeping Beauty.
Jesus Christ.
Good lord, I was wondering when the hell you're gonna finally open your eyes.
You know what? You should quit as a driver and be a full-time alarm clock instead.
I've tried, but they don't pay as much as a driver, though.
Oh, morning, Kramer. Wait, Kramer? Done shunting in the yard already?
Hey, Trinidad. Not quite. You see, one of my cylinder caps blew, so I don't know, because the drain cocks weren't working well, I guess. So I'm just here.
Ah, I see you're okay though.
Yeah, I am, thanks. The little bit of pain is subsiding. Oh, but listen, you'll never guess who's shunting in my place.
It is Vicky. Nah, can't be. I know how lazy she is.
No, just have a look and you'll see him in a second.
Oh, okay. Oh my god.
Yes, now you see?
I do. I can't even believe what I'm seeing. What's he doing there?
I told you he's shunting.
Yes, I know that, but why?
You know that too. My cylinder shot itself. Trinidad, do you have dementia already?
Come on, Kramer. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. I'm just playing. Yeah, it was so weird. He just offered to shun the yard for me.
Uh-huh. Well, that's very believable. Hold on, did he do anything or say anything bad to you? And you're just covering it up out of fear?
No. He was actually really nice and genuine. He was the one that brought me back here in the first place.
Really nice and genuine?
Yeah, Look, I know you think his class are a bunch of asses, and that might be true, but that he doesn't show any sign of that. To me, at least.
I believe you, Kramer. I do, though I don't think it's what you think it is. Who knows? It's probably some new technique they adapted to getting. They trust other engines, then stab them in the back when the time's right.
Come on, Trini. Stop being such a protective conspiracy theorist. Besides, what does he have to gain from that? Temporary satisfaction?
You're right. I respect that. It definitely does look like he's doing the work quite well. Still, it doesn't hurt to keep an eye on him.
Sounds fair, but just, don't be too hard on him, just in case he is a good and decent engine.
Will do.
Driver, watch the regulator with the coal trucks, please.
An hour had passed since. Trinidad was nearly at working pressure. Meanwhile, Commonwealth was ready to swap duties with Vicky, much to her lazy displeasure. After much whining, she left to do her job, as Commonwealth reversed in the front of one of the shed berths, parking adjacent to Trinidad. This was the first time he had a good look at his adversary, seeing his name for the first time, Commonwealth of Australia.
So, you're a passenger, goods, and a shunting engine.
Yeah, just call me a mixed traffic engine, because I'll personally take just about whatever jobs need to be done.
It's unusual, though, a Grizzly Pacific degrading himself to such duties as shunting. I'll admit, not even some of our big mainline engines wouldn't dare, knowing put themselves in your position a few minutes ago.
And there lies the difference between myself and others.
I see that. For what it's worth, though, I see you arranged the yard fairly well.
Thanks. I always try to take it slow with it, though my regulator acts up from time to time.
Yeah, as heard by Kramer and I.
Yeah, sorry, was I a bit loud? Shit, already?
No more slacking, Commonwealth. Showtime.
Alright, then see you around.
Alright.
It wasn't much longer before Trinidad was called to take his own train. Some hours following, he was halted under a signal, having to wait for another train to clear the line in front of him. Loud beats of cylinders resembling massive gunshots, audible in the distance and closing in. Rounding the corner, the engine burst into view, hauling a long line of coal wagons. At a tremendous speed, it passed Trinidad on the neighboring track and then disappeared into the distance, leaving a thin cloud of coal and dust in its wake. The signal dropped and the surprise jubilee continued on. Dusk fell upon the land. One by one, engines returned to the shed from their day of work, ready to wind down, relax, and talk.
Yeah, it surprised the hell out of me and the foreman. I mean, could you imagine that, an A4 shunting?
Well, I definitely can. Hey again, Kramer.
Oh, hey, Commonwealth. What happened to you?
It's that bad, isn't it?
I mean, no. I've seen way dirtier black fires than ATFs. But I guess it stands out more on your blue livery. Besides, what is it?
That'd be coal dust. I took over a coal train from one of your black fives. They wanted to see how well I'd handle it, which was absolutely well, as I was told. Anyways, how have you been feeling since this morning?
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Oh yeah, other than the slight discomfort, I'm better. They'll move me to the workshop tomorrow to fix it.
Sounds good. Oh yeah, you know that one Jubilee or Patriot or whoever he is, where is he tonight?
Jubilee. I actually don't know though. He took a train out soon after you left and he hasn't been back since. Look, I should tell you though, once you get to know him, he's a nice engine. He's just naturally a protective one. You can't really help it, I guess.
I see. Well, he wasn't completely wrong in what he said. A majority of A4s are knobheads, absolutely. It's just ones like me are in the minority of the class. It's also interesting that you say that specifically because just before I left, we had a short conversation that was actually civil. He, like you, and I bet probably many others, were surprised to see me shunting.
Well, I'll be damned. You two are getting along.
I'm not particularly sure about that, but we'll see.
As the time wore on, the shed became quieter as the engines fell asleep. No one stirred when an exhausted Jubilee quietly reversed into the dark berth next to Commonwealth.
Jubilee?
A4?
That's us, alright. How come you're back so late?
I just got back from King Moore. Had to fill in at the last minute for a broken down Patriot. I didn't wake you, did I?
Oh no, you're fine. Sometimes I just wake up randomly during the night, and that's what happened a few minutes ago before you came.
That's fine then. By the way, that was you pulling the coal train earlier today, right?
Indeed it was. I take it that was you I passed at the signal box?
Yeah. You didn't lie when you called yourself mixed traffic. I think a more literal and fitting phrase would be multi-purpose.
Good for passengers, goods and shunting. Yeah, definitely. I'm really not like the rest of them, you know? I'm just one of the very few who actually see the error of our ways. I can't tell you the amount of shame I feel when I hear other A4s talking down to other engines. It happens nearly all the time. That's mostly why I volunteered to take part in these trials. I just wanted to get away from that for a while.
I know that now I've had the entire day to think that through. It becomes painfully obvious that I've completely misjudged you. I want to apologize for my behavior. I should have at least gotten to know you before jumping to conclusions.
Thanks, man. I accept your apology. I know it comes from your heart. So, you got a name?
Oh yeah, never got around to that. It's Trinidad.
Commonwealth of Australia. But you can just call me Commonwealth.
Commonwealth and Colony.
Why are you still awake?
Well, I subconsciously heard you both talking, so of course I decided to wake up. But come on, a nickname for you guys.
Yeah. Commonwealth and Colony. Not bad. Isn't it, Colony?
There's a nice ring to it for sure. Commonwealth. Anyways, I think we three should get some sleep. Particularly me. God, I feel like dying.
Agreed. Good night, you two.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh yeah, Commonwealth.
Hmm?
Yes, you were a bit loud.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Oh, that's it. I did it!